Hi, this is Avinash from ITQA. Today I'll take you through the basics of CA Agile Central. So this tool was earlier known as Rally. So you will see the name Rally in a lot of places. So let's start. This tool is a cloud-based application. That means you can actually log into this application just by using a browser and using this particular link, rally1.rallydev.com. Once you go into the link, you can enter your username, which is your Allianz email address, and the password which you have set. Before we go any further, I will show you how to get information from the Rally help pages when you need it. From any page in Rally, if you click on this question mark, it will take you to the Rally help pages. So there you can actually see the videos, and you can actually type down your query and you can see what is already there. So before I take you through the basics, let's watch a basic video. So if you go here on the get started, so I'm just going into one video, this one.
This video will introduce you to the CA Agile Central application and point out some of the best locations to manage your work. When you log in for the very first time, you'll be asked to choose a role. This choice determines what apps show up by default on your dashboard. Dashboards are customizable, so you can change the apps and display later. Use the menu bar at the top to navigate to different pages, access your settings, and change your data scope. The building icon on the left is the workspace chooser, and to the right of it is the project or team chooser. Select the workspace and team that are applicable to you. Changing these values will update the data displayed on summary pages and inside of apps. Next to the project picker are the 6 main menu sections. Click on a menu to see what standard and custom pages are available. Double-clicking returns you to the most recently visited page in that menu. The magnifying glass icon opens a search box with an active cursor. Type in your search criteria and press Enter to see results. A tools icon between the search icon and your profile picture indicates that you are a workspace or subscription administrator. Click the tools icon to see settings pages for your users, workspace and project settings, and subscription settings, depending on your permissions. Click the exit icon or the tools icon again to return to the main production mode of Agile Central. The drop-down next to your profile picture provides access to your profile settings and notification rules for email and dashboard alerts. There are also options to email feedback about the application to our product owners, access the Agile Central help site for tutorials and instruction, and a link to log out. The bottom of the page has a link to reach out to Agile Central support when you need assistance. The icon in the bottom right takes you to the recycle bin. Next, let's take a closer look at a few important pages. The Home Dashboard page is where you can install and configure multiple apps that show items you care about. Many users can review and update all of their work from this single location with the right set of apps. The Plan Backlog page is used to rank what unscheduled user stories and defects are most important to schedule first. While the Plan Time Boxes page lets you create a working cadence or schedule. And the Plan page is where you schedule the highest ranked items into your time boxes. The Track Iteration Status page shows overall and detailed status for a team working in a smaller time box, the iteration. Most team members will set this page as their default, as it provides access to the current set of user stories, defects, and tasks. Statistics at the top provide product owners and other leaders information on the team's status. The Quality Defects page shows defects within your workspace and team scope. Unlimited edition subscriptions and those with Agile Central Portfolio Manager enabled can use the Portfolio Items page to set up strategic goals that fit within and across larger time boxes. Organizers, managers, and executives can access charts and reports from the Reports page. Advanced reporting is available from Agile Central Insights.
I'll now show you how to create some basic artifacts in CA Agile Central. So first of all, let's start with an epic. So basically epics are the top level requirement type. Epics and features are actually known as portfolio items. So if you go to portfolio menu and portfolio items, you can actually see the features. So basically this drop down will show you whether it's an epic or a feature. So I'll select epic so that you can actually see there are two epics under this project or team. So let's create an epic. So you can actually create from here. You just give the name here, and if you know the details, you can just add with details. If you don't know all the details or only the name, then you can just add and later give the details by going in there. So I'm just adding the name, so that will create an epic, and the project will be the project which you are already on, and so no other details will be added. So actually you can click there, go into the epic and select all the details. So basically you can see these tabs. So most of the artifacts like epics, features, user stories will follow the similar look and feel. So you'll get the details tab here, the children. So these will be different for different artifacts. So you will give the basic description about the epic. So epic is usually your project, high level project details. If you want to find how to write an epic and the standard template for an epic, you can actually find in the Agile website. Okay, and the owner will be the person who creates it, but you can select a different owner from here, and the project will be by default to this one, but still you can actually select a different project from here as well. And so you select all the details, planned start date if you know about it, planned end date, then just press done. Now let's see how to create a feature. So feature is the next level down the epic. So you can create feature from many places. For example, you can actually go to portfolio items and go to the feature filter, and similar way you created epic, you can create the feature from here. Also you can go to your epic, and then go to children, and there you can create the feature. So test feature, so that feature will be the child of that epic. So add. So similar way you can add either with details or without details or just giving a name. So let me go into a feature. So similar details, instead of children it's user stories here, because children of a feature is user stories, and there is discussion, revision, and dependencies. Also the state and preliminary estimate, similar to epic. It is again feature t-shirt sizing. So this is a relative sizing of your features. Also sub owner the project, so this is the parent epic, so it will be shown as epic, and you can give the description, other details, schedule, so you can actually schedule this into a release, start date, planned end date, such, and so you're done. So that means your feature is now created. Okay, now let's look at how to create a user story. Similarly, you can go into a feature and create a user story from here, or usually you can go into your plan backlog and just create a use story from here. Story. So add with details. If you have details with you, add with details, or just add. So that will add a use story here. So if you can see, there is no feature linked to it. So choose one. So you can find that test feature. Test. So it's better to filter by that our project. So our project is QA test project. So if I filter it easily, test project 2, so it will show you what. So just select. So that is selected. So but if you have created that story from the feature, this will be automatically linked. So this is a scheduled state for a user story. So basically it starts from backlog, defined, in progress, completed, and accepted. So these are the standard states. So this is the plan estimate, the estimated number of so this is usually in points, story points. So you'll say either 1, 3, 5, etc. And so this is a inbuilt field. So you give your details, you can select all the details or some of the details which are relevant to you, and done. So your story is created now. This one. Okay. So now let's look at how to create some tasks. So that's done usually by going into the tasks under the story, and it's also the similar way, test task. So you just give add. So task is created. By default it will be in the defined state, and you might do an estimate in terms in hours. So it's a 5-hour task. Automatically the to do will be populated by 5. So, and you can create multiple tasks, task 2. So the other way also you can do, add with details. You give your description. So testing task. So you just add, give your hours, 5 hours, create. So done. So you can see 2 tasks here now. So in the details, now you can see the task estimate is showing as 10. That's the sum of hours under that user story. So it's 10 hours. So that's what it is automatically calculated here. Okay. So that's how we create a task. Now let's see how to create a test case for this particular user story. There is a test case tab here. So if you are creating test cases for this particular user story, it's better to come into the user story and then create the test cases. So go to the actions, create test or new test case here. So you give the name, test case for US. So just you give your test case name and description of the test case, and the other details are you can select from here and save. So you can give the steps as well here. Now let's look at how to create defects. So you go to defects tab and create defect issue found. So add with details, or just, so usually you add with details. So there is a scheduled state for defect, but usually you follow a defect state. And you properly give the details. Any screenshots will be attached, and you select any fields which you want, like the environment or priority, and that's it. You create it. So that defect is created. So that state is submitted. So you can create next defect issue 2 just like that. So that's how you create defects. Or you can actually see all these defects or tasks in different views. For example, I have created these 2 defects. Even though you can see it under this user story, but you can see this under quality defects as well. So if you filter on your particular user story here, I think issue found, yeah, this is the one which I created. So all these ones, issue 2, so you can actually see from here, and you can use pop-up filters in the total. So this is what you see here under the quality defects is all the defects under test project 2. Let's see how to use a Kanban board. So Kanban boards are used to visualize your work. Kanban boards can be user story Kanbans or portfolio Kanban where you can see your epics and features, or it can be your task Kanban as well. So usually most commonly used ones are the user story Kanban. So I'll show you one. So basically based on how where you have actually created that board, that will be available in usually in a track or wherever you actually created it. So for example, there is one test Kanban which I have created. So by default, if you create a Kanban board, it will have the basic standard states of a user story. So define, in progress, completed, and accepted. So there is backlog as well. So I think that's disabled. So let's have a look here. So the backlog column is disabled. So you can actually enable it and save. So you will see the backlog as well. So backlog define, in progress, completed. So if you look at here, even your defects are part of your backlog. When you actually start working on a particular user story, you can manually move it to in progress, or you don't really need to move it. So for example, if you have a couple of tasks under a user story, and when someone starts working on a task, that means when he gives sets the task to in progress, so that this user story will automatically move to in progress. So in the standard state Kanban, you don't really need to move it through the Kanban board except for from the backlog define and complete it to accepted. So once you complete all your tasks in a user story, the user story will move automatically to the completed state, completed column. But in order to accept a user story, someone have to either go into the user story and accept it. You move to accepted, so that will be moved to accepted, or you can actually just drag and drop. So when you drag and drop it, so the state will automatically move to accepted. For example, this user story, it is currently in progress. So if I show you that it is in progress, and if I move that to accepted, the state will change to accepted. Okay, so state is now accepted. Now let's look at another scenario where you will have custom states. So usually Kanban teams will have custom states rather than this inbuilt states. So I'll show you an example. So a mock Kanban. So these are your custom states. For example, none, in development, in test, ready for integration testing, ready for release. So you've got basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 states which are not really your standard states. So basically none will be your backlog, and in development, in test, ready for integration testing will be your in progress, and ready for release might be either completed or accepted. So that mapping you can actually provide. So whoever have got a project admin access can actually change it. So in this case, the none is backlog and all others are in progress. So I'm going to change this to accepted. And you can have swim lanes also in the Kanban board. So let's see. Yeah. So if you look at it, there are swim lanes. where it is this Kanban board have custom states plus work is allocated based on the application. Yeah. So now let's look at a scenario where you actually move your user stories along this thing. So right now this particular user story, the state is backlog. Okay, it's backlog. So based on the mapping, what we have given is when the story moves to in development, that goes to in progress. So when someone ready, a developer takes this user story for development, he will manually move it to in progress. In development, sorry. So that means based on the mapping, it should have moved to in progress. In progress. So that happens automatically. And when in test, so basically it moves here, someone takes for testing, he'll move it in here. And you see a red color here because there is a WIP limit called work in progress limit. So the WIP limit defined is 2. So that means at any point in time you can only have 2 your stories in development. So since you have actually 3 in this column, that's why it is showing in red, 1 2 3. So when you right now it is only 2, so it's still not red. If I move this here, it will become red. When we move to ready for release, this is supposed to be accepted. So let's look at that use story. So that means it is accepted. Yeah. So actually before moving in these things, you will try to do all the tasks which are there in that need to be completed at that particular column. So for example, usually different people are doing it. So when it is in test, the tester will complete that testing task, and then he will manually move it. Also on a Kanban board, you can define what need to be shown on the cards. So that's by clicking on this button. So you can, right now I've only selected any defects if it is there, show any discussions and tasks. So I want to display the business owner and something else. Let me have a look. So I need to find out the feature also. Apply. So now I can see the feature and the tasks as well, the defects also. Also you can filter your results based on owner. So if I choose my name, it will only stories which are assigned to me. I can clear the filter. I can search based on name, and I can add advanced filters also, just in case if you want to filter on a particular field, and you can give that as well. And you can actually save if you choose a lot of filters, and you can actually save that as a view. So you just save a new view, and that view can be, if you have that proper access, you can share it with the team, or you can keep it with just keep it with you. So that's the user story Kanban board. Similarly, you will have portfolio Kanban board as well, so which will show you the features or epics. Yeah, the states will be different, of course. And one more thing I forgot to mention, so these are the exit policies. So you can have define the policies in your Kanban board. So right now here there is no policy, so if you click here, yeah, there is exit agreement. So basically what need to be completed in order to move a particular use story from here to here. So this says must have passed full requirement analysis, then it moves to in development. Yeah, so you can either show it or not show. So this will be written, or you can actually edit it by clicking on that button. If you need more help on the usage of Kanban board, go to the settings from any Kanban board and click on the help. So that will take straight into the Kanban board help pages in the Rally website. Thank you. Let's see how can we import or export items from and to Rally. For example, if I want to export my backlog into an Excel spreadsheet, I'll go to backlog and just click this button, export. So that's exported. The export fields depends on what is displayed on the page at that time. For example, if you want all the fields, then what you'll do is go to here and you will show all the columns which you want. You want discussions, you want kanban states, a lot of fields. So you select all the columns, apply, and then export again. Okay, so that's how you export. So that can be done from a lot of places. For example, if you want to in terms of portfolio items, if you want to export your epics or features, similarly you add all the columns here and then export. Similar way, you can import items into Rally. For example, I'll show you how to import a feature. So you click this button, import portfolio item data instead of export. So click on this. This will show you a template. So this is the import template which you are going to use. So click on that template. That will download the template for you. Open up the template. So this will show you all the possible fields in that feature. Yeah, this is the template. So you delete what you don't want. Delete. Don't want this. John plan start date, end date. I don't really need it. So I delete all those fields. Delivery estimate, let's be there. Estimate, risk sort, difficulty, user value. I'm not really interested in those as well. So delete. I need the name, description, notes, not required. So let's give. So this, I think this is required. Yeah, it's mentioned as required field. So these are the only two required fields: feature, the portfolio item type, and the name. So in this case, it's a feature. So you should say it is a feature. You can either, or a pick also is possible. So access name feature, feature 2, sample description. Owner name should be the Rally username. Create a couple. 10. Now save this file. Save as documents. Instead of Excel workbook, came as CSV. Let's save it as a CSV file. Yeah. Now go back, browse, CSV, import. Yeah. So that's all imported for you. If you have done it once, you can reuse the same file again and again. So if I go back to that, if I say these are epics, epic, same features, I can save as import, same file, import. Okay, so those are epic. So same template can be used for epic as well. So if you see all my epics. Let's see how do we use tagging feature. So tags can be used for any artifacts in Rally. So you can filter based on tags and identify or segregate anything based on a tag. So you can either choose an existing tag or just add a new tag as well. So I will say claims. So when I type, it will show what is already in there, but if I give something new, I can add that as a tag. So create, that's it. So now this will be available for everyone to choose from. So that's claims 2. I've selected that as a tag. So now I want to see that tag as well, so let me display that tag. So I want to see tags also here, tags, apply. So claims 2. Now I can actually choose the same one from here, claims 2. So that way you can claims 2, and then you can actually filter based on those tags. Have to, so choose the field tag equal to, so it will show the same list here. So then it's actually quite easy for you to arrange your work. You can use this tagging feature, which is quite useful and very easy, so that you don't really need to add any custom field into your artifacts. Now let's see how to adjust your personal settings in Rally. So if you click on your picture or on the top right hand corner, you can access your settings. Now edit profile, you can add your photo here, and if you want to amend your email address, you can do this. I think you won't be able to edit the username. You can update your password, you can edit your name. These two won't be able, you won't be able to edit these two, but you can actually edit your display name, which is displayed in Rally. And this one is the default workspace when you log into Rally. So if you always work on a specific project, you can actually choose that level, so that whenever you log in, it will automatically take you here. So just save and close. So that's how you edit your personal settings. Also, accessing help pages. So I have mentioned earlier, click on the question mark, that will take you to that particular help. So in your case, this is portfolio items, so you have gone into roadmap tracking, you can see portfolio items here. But if I go into plan backlog, click on the help, take you to manage my backlog. There is videos in there and a lot of details in there which are really good. Also, you can click on the help here, so that will take you to the general help page. There you can actually either choose from here, or you can type and search and find out. I want to backlog. So if I do a search, I can see what build a backlog, manage backlog, release planning. So give all the help related to release planning here. Thank you.